Wow, 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 wow. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those that are tuning in today. Okay, we will be starting just now. Just now. Um, let's make sure. Good evening to those that have tuned in tonight, and we are so excited. Those of you that are following us from different platforms tonight. And I'm so excited that you could join us wherever you are. I'm very, very excited that tonight is going to be a great and awesome time. We are crossing over live right now, and we are ready. We are ready to cross over right now, right now, right now. Those of you that are tuning in from different platforms, uh,
Students.
well, we want to welcome you. We want to welcome you, those that are joining in right now uh, on Revelation TV Zambia. We just want to say thank you once again. And I will be speaking to us right away um, for us to be able to discuss what we've got. Oh, yes, we are live on Revelation TV Zambia. What an awesome time for me to come to your home tonight. I don't know what I can say, how excited I am. I'm so excited that I am not alone in the room tonight. Yesterday, we had a great time with my good friend, all the way from Indiana, the United States of America. This is no other than Ricky Jones. Ricky Jones spoke to us, and we are expectant that tonight we're gonna take it to another level. We are discussing business and leadership. Yeah, we are discussing business and leadership. And we want to say to those of you that are following on Facebook, YouTube, all the platforms of social media, gather around and call each other and let's have a watch party where we can just discuss key things that affects our continent, that affects our nations, that affects our people. Without wasting much of your time, Today, we are looking at developing an entrepreneur spirit. Developing an entrepreneur spirit. How do you develop an entrepreneur spirit? How do you uh, get to rise knowing that most of us may be coming from backgrounds that did not favor us? And you are saying to me, Doc, I've got great ideas. You are saying to me, Doc, I've got great, great, great dreams. I want to become something. I want to do something. And now money is a problem. My country is a problem. My church is a problem. My family is a problem. Does that sound familiar? I have a lady in the house who is going to speak to us tonight. And this lady has inspired many and has inspired me too. That is why on the 10th of April, we are gathering at the new government complex in Lusaka, Zambia, with 1,000 entrepreneurs and leaders, government leaders, civic leaders, religious leaders, business leaders, university students. We are inviting you right now to join us at the new government complex in Lusaka, Zambia. Tonight, all the way from Houston, Texas, allow me to introduce to you my good friend who is part of the Boss Global Advisors. She is also a real estate investor, a great investor who has invested in the United States extensively. And apart from that, she is the president of the Professional Business Brokers Association of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm inviting to the fore your one and only Miss Yvette Criner. Yvette, good evening.
Good evening. Nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me on.
Great. I'm so excited, Yvette, that we can get here together right now and we can speak to the nations of Africa. And we want to say thank you to Revelation TV for according us this opportunity to be on their platform. Before we start, your word to Revelation TV viewers that are watching you for the first time. Go ahead, Yvette.
Thank you guys for joining us on Revelation TV. We're so happy that you guys are supporting us, and we're looking forward to being there on the ground in Zambia, Lusaka with you guys very soon. So we're excited. I'm excited to be here speaking with you today.
Wow, wow, wow. That's so quick, Yvette. You remind me how my son speaks. Sometimes I tell my son, slow down. I want to hear everything that you are saying.
Yeah.
So Yvette, we want to chat around a number of things tonight. Remember, the nation of Zambia is a nation with just about 21 million people. We are reaching out to that nation right now, plus eight, surrounded by 8 countries in the region. And we are reaching out to them right now. We are reaching out to the millions of people. I want us to begin from there. People may want to know, who is Yvette?
Well, let's dive in. So as you say, Dr. EJ, you said I come from nothing. So I'm just a regular person who grew up in a neighborhood that was not so favorable. I grew up in a small area, a small city in Texas, and I didn't go to college. Um, my parents were not able to afford me that opportunity. I became a young business owner at 19. I opened up my first child care center. I went on to open up several 6 daycare centers after that, to be exact, with no financing from anyone, all self done. At the age of 19, I just had a desire to do so, and I had a desire to be successful. And I knew that, as the Bible say, there's no respecter of person. So if someone else could do it, I could do it too. So that's kind of what led me into my business entrepreneurship. I didn't see myself working for anyone. I didn't want to work for anyone. And it was a choice that I made within myself. And
Well,
so,
well, well, well. Yvette, just there, hold it there, hold your fire right there. You
yeah.
mean at the age of 19, you made a decision to become an entrepreneur? What provoked you to start so
Mhm.
early, knowing that entrepreneurship is not an easy journey?
Nobody told me, Dr. EJ. I didn't know at the time. No one said it's not going to be easy. It was just
Mhm,
a drive that I had. I had a child. I had my first
mhm,
child at 19 years old, and I wasn't happy with the quality of care that she was being given. And so at the time, it was for me, it was a choice that I made as a mother for my family, which many times as women, we have to make those choices, and it was the best choice for me at the time to keep her with me. And so I had to figure out, how can I keep her with me and still be able to generate an income. And so it was just a kind of put two and two together for me. So childcare was the next thing that I could think of. I have a child, she's going to be here with me. How do I make some money while I'm at home? And so I started um, allowing other children to come into my home, and I got licensed as a home child care center. And not long after that, I outgrew my home and I went to my church. Just utilizing those resources that are around you. I had to think about,
mm,
what
mm,
resources. And the church had space for me. And so they allowed me to rent a
mm,
space to be able to, bring the children there and start a child care center. And so utilizing the sources, the resources around
mm.
me, having people that believed in me, was really important. And so there became a business out of a need, not so much as a desire to
Wow,
become a childcare owner, but a need.
wow. So you are saying, when, of course, at the age of 8, 19,
Hmm.
you had a mother. So young you were,
I
and and so and so early. A teenager
A teenager.
beginning to take care of herself.
Hmm.
What really uh, were the circumstances around that? Because we've got many young people, and I don't want them to get it wrong from you saying, hey, you know what, I just got to drop out of university. If Yvette can start at the age of 19, then I can also start at that age. So I want you just to give us the circumstances around you at that time, because you have said it came out of the need. It came out of the need. Yes, Yvette. Well, I'm not sure if you're able to hear me on your side. Did you get me, Yvette? I'm not sure if Yvette can hear me. Did you get my question? All right. I think Yvette has had a challenge with the connection there. She will join us shortly. And I think that we are looking at a very interesting story tonight. And this is one of our keynote speakers who is coming to speak to us at the Business and Leadership Summit that is taking place in Lusaka. And this is a great speaker, a great woman, and she will be speaking to us. She will be speaking to us on what happened in her life, what happened in her life. And so we just want to get to her, and we just want to hear the circumstances that she had. What were the circumstances that brought Yvette to that realization? The circumstances that Yvette may have gone through for her just to start a business at the age of 18. And I don't want you young people out there to begin to think, oh, you know what? I can just start myself. I'm still young. I can drop out of school and start a business. I want Yvette to share with us the circumstances around her. You heard her speak that it was born out of the need. So Yvette is back, and let me hand it over to Yvette. Yvette, go ahead and speak to the young
Yes.
people. I saw that we lost the connection there. Yes, go ahead.
Mhm. So my desire was to go to college. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to, my family just did not have the funds to be able to send me there. I come from a family of 18 siblings. So I'm the 13th of 18 siblings. So, my father had a lot of children that he had to take care of. So, college wasn't an
Wow.
option for me.
your,
Yeah,
your father was a true African man. Your father was a true African man. A
absolutely.
18. Wow.
Absolutely. He had 18 children. So there just wasn't, it wasn't an opportunity for me. If I could have attended college, I would have. It would have made it a lot easier for me along my journey. But again, it wasn't an option for me. And failure wasn't an option for me either. So just having that
Hmm.
desire, at 2020 and at 23 years old, I lost my husband. I became a widow. And by then I had two children.
Oh
So
gosh.
I had two children at the
Hmm.
time, and one was just 1 years old. I had a 5-year-old and a 1 year old. So,
Hmm.
after being a wife and being dependent on an income, and a lifestyle that I'd grown to getting accustomed to,
Hmm.
even as a young business owner with just one child care center and my husband passing away, it was still an option for me to either quit and go and work for someone or to continue. Because sometimes people will get in the way of themselves. And I wasn't going to get in the way of myself because, again, I have my children that I wanted to provide for. I have my children that I wanted to provide for. And I was making an impact on the community at that time, and so I was meeting the needs of others, but I was also opening up opportunities for others. And so I was beginning to provide jobs for other people, and I had other
Hmm.
people who depended upon me. So even though I was a 22, 23-year-old widow with two children, I was still dependent upon by other people. I was taking care of family members at that time. I was taking care of friends. I was helping out in other areas, and I was providing jobs for other people. So I was creating an opportunity for others. So it was no longer just about myself, and I couldn't say, poor me, I give up. I had to keep pushing. It was about that inner strength of knowing that I could, and just knowing that failure wasn't an option. And so small steps, I just began to take small steps.
Wow, 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 wow. That was quite bold of you, knowing that the journey you were taking was not just an easy one. Of
Right.
course, when you look at what you have just said, being a mother and losing a husband at a tender age and beginning to stand on yourself. Today, we want to talk about developing an entrepreneur spirit. There are many people out there that talks to us about, I don't have capital. I've got all these big dreams and big ideas on business. Pick it up from there. What are some of the steps that people need to look out for? What are some of the key steps that somebody can take? And what is it that you have done yourself? Because I know that there are most of the, I was listening to one motivational speaker, how he was telling people how he started his business by selling one grain of rice. He says, I started. He says, I started a business with one grain of rice, which
Yeah.
is totally impossible. But we want to hear, what are the key steps? Somebody's staying out there. Look, capital. Yeah. Well, how
Yeah.
do I start? Yeah.
Well, there's never going to be an opportunity where things are perfect. So there's never going to be an opportunity where you have the capital, where you have the time, where everything is lining up. You just have to start. You look at the resources that are around you and you capitalize on those resources. At the time for me, when I got ready to start my childcare center, I went, and this is a true story. This is how young and naive I was. I went to the
Mhm.
bank and sat down with a banker and said, I want to start a business and I need $50,000. And I had no business plan. I had no credit. I didn't have financial statements. I didn't have anything. I didn't know to do any of that. All I knew was that I wanted to start a business. And they told me to come back with a business plan. And so, to people who are getting ready to get started, planning is everything. You have to start with a plan, knowing, having knowledge and research. You have to kind of zone in and tune into those things and accepting mentors. At 19 years old, I wasn't someone who didn't take advice from other people. I had to look at the people who were around me. I had to learn from them because I was open to receiving, to growing. I had to understand that my knowledge wasn't going to come from books, but my knowledge was going to come from just learning. It was going to come from books, but not in the form of a traditional education. So I continued to learn. I continued to research, ask questions, surround myself with people who knew more. And eventually I had someone, just because I did have a vision and I had people who believed in
Mm.
me, I did have someone who was practically a stranger to me give me
Uh-huh.
$30,000,
Wow.
invest in me. And it was someone who didn't look like me. It
Mm.
wasn't a woman, it was an older white man, white gentleman, who took a chance upon me because
Mm.
he believed in me. Why did he believe in me? Because I believed in me. I believed in
Wow.
me. He believed in me. You
So the
know,
first thing that you're saying is believing in yourself is very
believing in
key. Mhm.
Yes, yes.
And you have spoken about taking research,
Hmm.
uh, and you have spoken about mentoring,
Yes.
and you have also said people believing in you. That's very important, and I want us to speak to somebody right now. There are those that are watching, colleagues. On the 10th of April, we are not sitting in a virtual room event. We are gathering together. You started as a daycare to do business. You looked at the need, you picked up your child,
Hmm.
brought other children. The need turned into money. I think we can speak to somebody there how they should look into that, because I remember somebody said in Chinese, the same word crisis is spelled as opportunity. So I want you to speak to us on how do you turn your crisis into opportunity, if you may, in terms of personal centrics, because there are a lot of negative voices. I'm not sure if you had such kind of people around you who just, when you want to move forward and somebody just come and whisper that.
Yes, yes. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you said that, Dr. EJ, because part of the reason that I'm here now is because I had so many people who thought that I would not be here.
Uh-huh. Yes.
So,
Uh-huh. Continue. Yes.
yes. So at 23 years old, when my husband passed away, I was very immature. I was
Yeah.
immature in a lot of different, I was still just a kid,
Yeah.
with two children. And I had a lot of people who told me that I could not do it. You have two
Mm.
children, what are you going to do? I don't know if you guys have a such thing as the projects there,
Uh-huh.
low
Uh-huh.
income
Uh-huh.
housing. They wanted me to fill an application out to go live in the projects. And that
Wow.
was not something that I was going to do. I'm not a project type person. I didn't want to go there. So I could
Yeah.
never see myself. I could not see myself there. I didn't want to be in that situation. I didn't want to be. They took me to our government assistance program and wanted me to get government assistance and fill those applications out.
Mhm.
3 weeks after my husband passed away, I was living in Dallas, Texas, and I got a U-Haul truck. I packed my things up and I moved to Houston, Texas to separate
Mm.
myself from the noise. I
Wow. Wow.
didn't.
Wow. 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 Stop. Stop there. Stop there. I want us to bring that point. Separating yourself from the noise. Now,
Yes,
leaders who are watching right now, there are some of you, you have a great passion and you want to move in and do business, you want to start your organization, you want to move on, but there are these, the environment around you is just so toxic and is just so negative. I want you to listen to what Yvette is saying here tonight. She's saying she was living in Dallas, and every calamity, every negative stuff happened to her whilst in Dallas. But one day, she packed her belongings and she said, I am moving. And she separated herself from all the negative voices. And lo and behold, she went to start a new life in Houston, Texas. I want you to listen very carefully, even as she continues from there. So, Yvette, now you have moved to Houston. Pick it up from there.
yeah. So now I'm in Houston a month after my husband passed away, two children, and very limited funds. And so I had to either make a decision. If I was going to fail, it was going to be me failing by myself, trying as hard as I possibly could, or it was going to be me succeeding. But I wanted to be able to do it by myself. I didn't want anyone to take credit for it because no one believed in me. And so,
Mm,
at 23, I had no college education. Remember, I still had not attempted to even enroll in a college. But
mm,
I knew that I had the skills to do childcare. I knew that I knew those skills. I knew that I'd started it from nothing to begin with, and I knew that it could be something that I could do again. And so I went to what I knew. It was something that I'd grown a passion for at that time. And when you're passionate about something, you work harder at it. And
mm,
so I knew that it was something that I liked doing. I knew that it something that I enjoyed doing. And I knew that the opportunity was there. I knew that it was something that I could grow. I saw myself growing in the field. And so again, I reached out to people and started utilizing the resources that were around me. And I spoke with someone who had a building that had previously been a child care center. And I talked them into letting me have free rent. If you don't open your mouth
Mm.
and tell people what you need, you never know what you can get. And so I never sat and said, I don't have any credit. I don't, it was never a poor me. I never had a poor me moment. I didn't have time to have a poor me moment. And so, I had to again, utilize those resources, think outside of the box. I'm going to go and talk with someone. I'll let them know that, I'll clean up the place. I'll do all of the work myself. I'll make this place a better place for you by the time I leave. But just give me an opportunity to get in and be able to start the business. And that's what I did.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm so excited to hear how you just started the business. You are now in Houston, you get a venue, you start bringing in people around you, and people start bringing the children. Let's talk about now how you translated that into money. Because, if there is something that people are afraid of talking about is money. Did you know that taking care of children is going to give you money?
I didn't know that taking care of children would lead me down the road to making millions. I did not know
Mhm.
that, Dr. EJ. It was a door opener for me. It was made out of a need, and it was started from nothing. And when I sold my child care centers, I sold them for for high six figures. So I scaled.
We are talking about people that may not know what we talk about figures. I know that for us in this part of the world, we talk that language, but we will be speaking very clear. And I'm saying to the Zambian people, I mean, we are talking about millions. We are talking about making real money, because now she's moving from herself running a daycare into turning them into businesses. And that's what I want you to talk about, that transitioning. How did it just happen? How did it just happen? How were you opening other centers in that sense? I wanted just you to talk to us about that.
Okay. Well, I knew that having one child care center paid the bills. I knew that
Hmm.
they paid the bills, but reading and listening to other people and watching what other people were doing around me, I knew that a second location would be something that I would need in order for me to not only pay the bills but take vacations. I wanted to travel. So I wanted to
Uh-huh.
be able to provide luxuries inside of my life other than just paying the bills, because at that time I just had a job. And there's a difference between having a job and being a
Hmm.
business entrepreneur. There's we sometimes we work in our business and sometimes we work on our business. So I had to make the decision to work on growing my business and step outside of the business itself. So
Mm.
yep. So I rose people up and trained them to be like me so that they could, I could continue to have a quality program. And I went out and started looking for my second location, and
Hmm.
I replicated, repeat,
Hmm.
do what
Hmm.
you did the first time and do it the second time. I found another building. I found another building and I found another building that needed work on it.
Now, Yvette, you are speaking to me, and I'm getting excited here because the on the 10th of April, I don't know whether we're gonna have enough time to share a lot of key things, but I know that we are preparing quite well for the Zambian people. And if you are in Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, Angola, Malawi, the Congo, come through to Lusaka for a great business and leadership summit. Yvette is not just a daycare entrepreneur, a woman that has been selling daycares. Remember, she started by running her own. Then she develops them into a franchise. And now she has sold. How many have you sold altogether by today? If we have to say by today.
I would say in the last 5 years, I've sold approximately 100 childcare centers.
Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. I wanted you to say that again. I wanted you to say that again. In
Mhm.
5 years,
Yeah.
you have sold how many?
Approximately 100.
Over 100 day child care centers. Can you still be cry, remain and start crying? Oh no, my husband died when I was just 23. My husband died when I. Come
Yeah.
on. You can't do that. Why should you cry? Because there are people that are crying today. My government, my father, my mother. Yvette, even myself, I was telling my children the other day that they must be treating me well. I'm an orphan. My mother passed on. I told them my mother passed on 4 years ago. My mother passed on 4 years ago. My father passed on 2 years ago. So I was telling them that even me, I'm an orphan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self pity. I think we need to help people to realize that they can come out of their situation if they overcome self pity and they begin to take steps that will help them. Congratulations, Yvette. You have really done well. And you have inspired me so much just with this story. Now, you moved from daycare businesses and you haven't really left it. You are still selling. You are still selling, and we're going to talk about that. Now you went into real estate investment, become not a real estate agent. Colleagues, there are those of you that are watching, you're a real estate agent. I'm not talking about being an agent here. I'm talking about becoming an investor. You went into real estate investment. How did that begin?
Again, I've always looked at opportunity and I've looked at others that are around me. And real estate is something that, I believe is gives you the ability to provide generational wealth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so my father told me if you buy land, don't ever sell it. And
Uh-huh.
so, it's something that will increase in value over time. And it was something that I desired to do. And so I looked into buying real estate. I looked into, again, I'm a growing learner. And so I'm always looking for different things. I'm always looking for different things to make money. I'm an entrepreneur by spirit. It's what I do.
Uh-huh.
So I like money. Who doesn't like money? So
Oh, come on.
it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
went into the economy is good. The time was right. I found a good mentor and they showed me how to flip houses. And
Mm-hmm.
so I allowed him to mentor me. I took risk because risk is something that you have to take sometimes. You have to,
Yeah.
nothing, when you're an entrepreneur, you're not going to go into anything thinking that it's always going to work because it doesn't always work. But for me, I had a mentor. This time I knew that it wasn't a business or an industry that I was going to dive into, just by myself. So I found some property that tax auction properties, and I started investing that way. And so that was
Wow.
my introduction into real estate investments. And I moved into property management, construction. So there's just kind of finding one thing after the other. So now I own a real estate investment company, a construction company, and a development
Stop,
company.
stop, stop, stop there, stop there, stop there, Yvette. You are too fast. You are speaking too fast. I want you have to forgive me. I speak very slow because I want to make sure that I understand and hear what you are saying.
Mhm.
And there is somebody that is watching right now. Look at this lady. I mean, she's coming from a tragic life. She turns that situation into a business. She grows up, she grows it into running a daycare center, and she begins to buy daycare centers. Then she begins to sell daycare centers. In the last 5 years, she has sold almost over 100 daycare centers. Then she goes into real estate investment. She begins to invest in housing. She begins to invest in property. And she moves into not just investing into property, and she doesn't stop. She's continuing running that. And then now she goes into property management, where she goes and start to manage other people's properties, those that are failing to run their own properties and business. She goes into that. Then she sees that there is need for construction. And today she runs a construction company. I don't know if you're following what we are talking about. I'm not sure if this is she's a crazy businesswoman, making sure that she breaks the yoke of poverty out of her life completely. She's not telling you about she went and bribed somebody, did this. She's giving us practical steps on how she did that. So, Yvette, now you are into construction. Let's pause there. Let's talk about there, and then we will be beginning to wrap up shortly. Then we talk about the summit. So you get into construction. Talk to us about that.
So my family came from construction. My father was a construction owner. So it was something that was in the family, but I'm a girl,
Yeah.
so no one, was something that I'd never done before. But why give someone else my money when I can keep it?
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking outside of the box again. How hard can this be? If somebody else can do it, I can do it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I have big brothers, so my big brother said, you can't do it. It's a man's field. And I said, you know what? If you can do it, I can do it too. And so I started interviewing a crew of I went to here in the United States. We have places that people gather for jobs. Like they'll go into a parking lot and you can go and pick them up for work. And I just started picking up, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and I built a team. And I now didn't
Yeah.
need to hire anyone else. I have my own construction crew.
Wow. Wow.
Again, creating
That's
opportunity, finding a need and creating an opportunity. So I was meeting a need and creating opportunity again.
all right, Yvette. We can't finish talking about these stories, they are just so inspirational. On the 10th of April, I want you to speak to the people out there who are still thinking, should I register? Should I not? Should I go? Should I not go? I want you to speak to the people out there, those that are still trying to contemplate whether to attend the summit, or those that are still thinking,
If you guys
what
have
value?
up, you guys need to register as soon as possible because it's filling up quickly. We're expecting a lot of people, and I'm excited. This is just a little piece of what I'll be sharing, but I'm very excited because as a business broker, I have learned so many things about the buying and the selling and the scaling processes of business. My partner and I are looking forward to share these things with you. I didn't go the traditional route, and a lot of people don't go the traditional route. A lot of people don't think about where you're at and where you can come. You look at your circumstances and where you're at and you don't see past it. And I want to teach you how to get past it with little credit, no money, with challenges, obstacles, with coming from backgrounds that are not great, coming from an educational background that's not favorable. For those people who have told you that you could not do it, I want to be able to share with you, motivate you, inspire you, and give you the tools on how you can do it through business ownership, through business expansion, through business growth. continuing your education outside of the traditional route. So we have many, many tools that we're ready to bring to you guys, and we're excited. You can't miss it. You have to be there.
Let's talk about quickly. I want us to talk about the pool of investors that we have that are ready to come into Africa, and they're ready to buy businesses, they're ready to sell businesses, and those in Zambia that have got businesses that they want to sell. I want us to give them opportunity, because some people may be thinking, oh, this is just another motivational class. Why should I go there? But I want these people to know. I want the people to know that we are going out there to make sure that we are not just talking to them, but we are going straight to them and say, here are the opportunities. Grab it or leave it. I want people to be like Yvette. I want some marketeer woman out there. I want a woman who's running a child care center out there to be inspired and how they can transform that into money. We want to give them opportunities. So talk about investment opportunities that we have. I want you to talk to us about also the investors. And I want us to talk about the opportunities for funding for other projects that we can secure for them, just without us going into detail because we don't have time.
Yep.
And if they need detail, they have to be in the summit. Yeah, talk about that.
I'm so excited because for the last 2 months, if we've been planning this summit, I have been speaking with our American investors. We have American investors, names that you would not believe, that are ready to come to Zambia, to Africa, to South Africa to just invest. Many people, there's challenges that are going on in the United States, and a lot of people are looking at putting their dollars back, especially people that look like us. We're ready to come home, you guys. We're ready to put our money back into Africa, and I have a list of investors that's ready to make a visit out there. So once we come and check you guys out and see what you guys are doing there, then we'll be able to match our investors with the opportunities that are there. So part of this summit is also about understanding the needs of Zambia, and understanding what we can do for our investors that's coming from the United States, to be able to get out there and be able to make an economic impact on your community also. So we'll be discussing investment opportunities, investment businesses. We'll be discussing funding options, investment options, real estate investors, as well as funding for investments. People want to invest, people want to partner. We have several opportunities that are there in your country right now that we're working on and we're moving forward with, and we're looking for more opportunities. So come and learn about those opportunities, like whether you're an investor, whether you're a business owner, whether you're looking for how to get your business funded. There's many, many options, you guys, that are not just broadcast, but we call them creative thinking. And as you can see, of something that I've done my whole life, my partner Rick is an attorney, and you guys have had an opportunity to hear from him. He has many, many, many years of experience, you guys, and he's just a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, and you just can't miss it. The combination of what you guys are going to receive, you cannot buy anywhere, and you're getting it at no cost. So why wouldn't you be there?
Yeah. Definitely. We are getting somebody saying waiting for you. Connie's shop. Somebody says Connie's shop. Let me read some. There are some people that are texting on my my place here. Somebody saying waiting for you. Somebody say watching from Lilai Estate. Somebody said good evening. So people are watching. Those that are watching from just the Facebook, I'm very sure the whole nation is watching on television. We are coming physically in Zambia, and we'll be sharing these opportunities without hiding information. Remember, I have always said that information is power. And in business, you have to sacrifice. You have heard Yvette's story tonight. And the things that she has just shared to us are so detailed. Look, I want you to go to your phone really right now and give us a WhatsApp on that first number that is there. If you are not in South Africa, use the first number, the +278381 97956. Drop us a WhatsApp if you are not in South Africa. If you are not in South Africa, if you are in Zambia, I want you to drop us a call right away. You can phone this number direct right away. If you are in Zambia, I want you to phone this number 097 821 2766. Let me repeat that number: 097 766. For the last time, 097 8212766. Give us a call right now and register for the summit. As you have heard, Yvette has said, it will be free of charge. Registration is going on and the seats are getting taken. Book now. And we have opened up. If you want to partner, you want to come in and you want to be part of the summit, you are a school, you are a college, you are a business, this is an opportunity for you to exhibit, and we'll be glad. My team and our team on the ground is working extremely hard. So we want to be with you. And for those of you that have decided to partner with us, Revelation TV, thank you very much for according us this opportunity. One Love Radio, we want to say thank you. All the platform, the digest, the must newspaper, the smart egos, we want to say Lily Tams TV. We want to say thank you for Lily Tams TV. Those of you that are watching also on Lily Tams TV for broadcasting this. We want to say thank you to every Zambian institution, purely Zambian companies that are coming on to say, we want to be there, we want to be there. We want to say thank you. And we are looking forward to be with you, shake hands with you. Yvette, your last words as we close our broadcast tonight.
You guys come on in, register. We cannot wait to see you guys. We're looking forward to it. We have some nuggets that we're going to drop. So you guys, you just don't want to miss it, okay? You don't want to miss it. Again, the seats are registering. People are registering quickly. And, you know, you're not going to be able to get this much knowledge anywhere else, you know, for what we're offering here. So we look forward to seeing you. Come on out so we can meet and answer your questions, and you guys can walk away with some key knowledge. And again, this isn't a motivational speech. This is just my life, but my life has turned out very successfully just by moving forward. And let me show you how you can move forward too, with opportunities to be able to invest into your economy and be able to create generational wealth.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were you, I can't miss. Yesterday, I got a call from one of the kings around South Africa, and he told me, Dr. EJ, you are not leaving me behind. We are going together. He says to me, I am flying down to Lusaka just to attend. And this is a king. So you might be a traditional leader. You might be a king. You might be a chief. You might be an Induna. Come on. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And after that event, I've got good news for you. We're going to go to Livingstone and see one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Mosotunya. They say this the storm that thunders, something like that. The Mosotunya. It's a beautiful place.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're gonna go and do the walking with the lions. I want you to go and walk around with the lions, jump on those elephants and all that. Yeah,
so tell me, drop those of you who are listening, tell me the best places to eat I want to
Yeah,
eat.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, best places to eat. We're gonna get there and find best places to eat. Thank
Yeah.
you so very much, Zambia, for tuning in tonight, and those of you that are watching us from Africa and from within around the globe. This has been your friend and brother, Dr. E.J. Nkhoma from the African Institute of Leadership and Governance, together with Boss Global Advisors, Yvette Criner, tonight. We are saying, have a wonderful night and God bless you. As I always say, Aruta Continua. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you.
Thank you.